Hi guys and welcome to the 40-day AAA challenge. Today we're going to learn how to build a very high ROI lead qualification agent on Voiceflow. The point of this agent is actually to take extra effort and time off your sales team so that they can focus on higher ROI tasks, which is basically sell to the leads that are actually qualified and not waste their time going back and forth with these leads and trying to see if they qualify for their product. So this agent is going to be built on Voiceflow. It is an extension of a previous video that I made that was about a customer support chatbot. So I'm just going to use that particular chatbot and give another extension, which is going to be the lead qualification part. And I'll just give you a rough outlook of how it's going to look like on your website or your WhatsApp, Slack, whichever social channel you prefer to qualify your leads on. You can integrate this AI agent on that channel, and I'll just show you how it's going to look like, and then we're going to see how to build this step by step. Alright, so this is the chatbot, this customer support chatbot that I built on a previous video. If you missed out on that, definitely go check that out. I'll try and link the video on this video as well. Apart from that, if you just want to build the AI agent, this video is going to be enough. You wouldn't maybe have to get into the details of that, of the previous video. But if you don't know how to use Voiceflow at all, I would suggest you go watch that video first and then come back to this one. So let's just run. What I basically did was, whenever a lead or a customer comes in onto your website, they are greeted with a message and they're presented with a few options. So formerly what we did was we had the services attached to this carousel of services, which was going to look something like this. So every time a person goes into the button of services, they will be able to see a carousel of different services that we have with links of our website. But for now, what we did was we linked it over to a component on this chatbot that would be the lead qualification component. And every time a person now comes and uses the service button, they will be directed to this particular flow, where first the AI agent is going to thank them for thank the person for inquiring about the business's services, and we would like to know some details so we can tailor the best solutions for you. What services are you looking for? Example, chatbots, automations, and they capture the response, whatever response the person is going to have. For example, they type in they want chatbots, and then the bot is going to ask what is your budget and provide them with the number, and then capture the response of the person and then ask if the information is correct. The person will be able to say either yes or no. If the person says yes, we will make an API call to make.com that is basically going to form all of this in a nice format and send over to your Discord. It could be sent over to your WhatsApp, to your email, to your Slack, literally any channel that you prefer to get your new leads on. And once the API call is successfully made, the person will be thanked for providing the information, and then it will get another follow-up question from the bot asking, is there anything else that I can help you with? For whatever reason, if the API call fails, the bot will then direct the person to contact somebody from the sales team or from the customer support team via email. So this is obviously just a very basic example where I just roughly added two things that I'm capturing. You could add stuff like company size, company niche, many more things that you could do with this. The way that you're going to add is going to be very similar, so I'm just going to add two basic things over here, and you can just iterate and add on according to your personal. Alright, let's run the test and see how it looks like. So a client comes in and the AI agent is going to greet the client and then ask what they need help with. We already made flows for this one in the previous video. For now, we're going to go with services, and this should trigger the lead qualification flow. It did. And now it's just saying, thank you for inquiring about our services. What would you like to, we would like to know some details so we can tailor the best solutions for you. What services are you looking for? Let's go with AI customer support chatbot. What is your budget? Let's say $6,000 because we're rich. Is this information correct? Service and budget. For some reason, actually I know the reason. I probably didn't map the variable correctly over here. I'll teach you guys how to do that, so don't worry about this. Let's just suppose this is AI customer support chatbots and the budget is $6,000. Is the information correct? Yes. This should trigger our API call. The API call has successfully been triggered. It's thanking us, and then it's going to the follow-up question. What else can I help you with? So seems like the chatbot is working fine. Let's see if our make.com scenario is working fine as well. Let's just run this once and use existing data. Okay, so the scenario was run complete, and there we go. You have a new lead, service, AI customer support chatbot, budget $6,000. So the receiving part where the Discord message is being sent out is perfectly fine. For some reason, I think I didn't map the variable in the right manner, is why the confirmation with that the AI agent gave wasn't complete, but we'll just change that right now when we dive into how to build this from scratch. So now that we know how it works, now that we know that the outcome that it gives out, let's learn how to build this from scratch on Voiceflow. So for that, I'll just go back and I will delete this. Now we are at home and we can see the services is not connected to anything. For that, we will go to new workflow and call it lead qualification. Let's create the workflow. The trigger is going to be services. Let's go back and trigger this as well. This is going to be services as well. So the reason why I already have services here is because I created this intent previously while I was building this chatbot for demo purposes, but I'll show you how to do that. So when we're here on the lead qualification workflow, when you tap here, you will basically be able to add a trigger that you can name according to whatever trigger you have, and then link it back to the initial flow. So the first thing we would want this chatbot to say is, thank you for inquiring about our services. Please provide whatever. I'm just gonna type whatever right now. You get the point. Then we're going to add another message that says, I'm not gonna add in examples, just not to prolong this video too much, but you can add examples in brackets just like I showed you previously. Now we have these two messages sent out. We want to listen to what the client is saying. For that, we'll have to capture the last utterance. The last utterance is actually going to be services. So I already created a new variable, but every time you capture whatever that particular person is telling the chatbot, and you want to capture it into a variable so that you can send it over for API calls, it's nice to create new variables according to whatever you're capturing. We're capturing services here, so I already built one. I created a new variable called services, and I'm just going to tap this here. So now the capture user reply to services. Whatever the user reply is going to be, it's going to be captured into this variable called services. So this is done, and after that, This is exactly how you will keep adding in more questions depending on how you want to qualify your lead. The next question could be what niche your company is in. Another question could be how many employees do you have. Another question could be what is the value of a client for you. So if you're working with the B2B businesses, you could ask for that, and many other things that you can do. I'm just going to add one more example, and then you can follow along, use the exact same procedure to capture more variables. This one is going to be, let's suppose, what is your budget? What is your estimated budget? And then providing an example. Obviously, the better you type in things, the better your user journey is going to be. So right now I'm just adding things off of my head. I wouldn't actually be so upfront and direct. I would be more considerate towards the person who I'm talking to, so that it doesn't really sound that robotic. For the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to keep this really short. So once we have our message, the next thing, we are again going to capture whatever the person is saying, and this time the variable is going to be estimated budget. I already created one. Let's look for it. Yeah. So you can create another variable, and that's pretty much it. This is exactly how you will build more cards where there is a text and then you are capturing variables. So let's suppose we have 3 to 4 questions, and after that we just want the bot to confirm whether the information provided is correct. Is this information correct? This is important because this is the final information that will be put forward to our sales team, so we don't want to miss out any important information. The variable first is going to be services, and second is going to be estimated budget. So whatever the person is going to type in is going to come here. And once we have this, let's add in buttons so that the person can either say yes or no. Yes. Nope. If it's a yes, we will go to our API option. Now we need a URL. For that, we'll have to go to make.com. And let's just delete this entire scenario and show you how to build this from scratch. So when you log in and you create a new scenario, this is the dashboard that you will see. You'll tap on the plus button, and we want a webhook. We want a custom webhook. We'll add, save, and this should give us a URL. Let's copy this, and this is the URL that we're going to add over here. This is a GET request that we're sending to make.com. Let's see if the URL is working. 200 means okay. Successfully determined. So this means the API connection between make.com and Voiceflow is successful. Once we have this, we now need to add Discord. I already created a connection with Discord, but this will, when you do this will make.com will prompt you to connect your Discord account to make.com. Once you do, you will just come over and send a message. You can choose a method. You can go check whatever channel ID you use and put that here, and then type in the message. You have a new lead, and then just add in the info of the lead. For now, it's going to be services and budget. So we don't have anything yet that we can map. For that, we'll obviously have to send in some demo data to make.com. And before we do that, let's set some parameters. So this is how Voiceflow and make.com will be connecting with each other. We already set the variables, but we haven't yet send over those variables to make.com. I hope that makes sense. So for that, we'll have to set parameters. The first parameter is obviously going to be services and the variable that we created. Then the next parameter is going to be budget, and our variable is going to be estimated budget. So now when we send a request, we'll be able to type in some demo data. Let's just go with some random stuff here so we know the request is working. Generate. So for some reason, the API call didn't work. This should have been a 200. Let me just quickly see what's the problem and get back to you guys. Okay, so previously we saw that our API call wasn't successfully run. We just had to go over and just redetermine our webhook over here. This will basically refresh the connection and then they will be able to connect again. Right now it's successfully determined because I already redetermined it, but there will be a button here that you will see that will say redetermine a webhook around the same lines, and you'll just tap that, and once you do, you will send the request again, and then you will be able to see a 200. This happens sometimes. You just have to refresh the webhook and your job is done basically. So we can see that it didn't work again. Let me just copy this and paste this again to see if the redetermined hook now works. Let's send a request again and let's see if this works now. So I actually have been working quite a lot on this chatbot for a while, and I have been consistently making API calls is why this might not be working yet, but it just did. I had to redetermine the webhook URL again over here and then send the request again, and we can see that it's a 200. Let's try again. And it should be a 200 this time. Yeah, so you get the point. All right, now that we have our webhook determined, we have our Discord set up. Let's see if we can map our variables. So you can see that once the webhook was determined, we retrieved the parameters that we added. So the service is going to be services and budget is going to be budget. And now what basically is going to happen is every time a person types in the type of service and budget they want, the webhook will capture that data from Voiceflow and send it over to Discord. So let's see if this is working right now. Let's just send a request again. It's a 200. And let's go over to our Discord, and there we go, AI 100. So our API call and our make.com automation is successfully running. Now let's just finish off the tiny bits that are left. The main part is done. Now you just need to complete the flow and get done with it. Okay, we're back on Voiceflow. Now once the API call is successfully triggered, we'll just send a message that says thank you for the information provided. An agent will get back to you shortly. Now, once the person is sent over this message and our Discord channel, our Slack channel, whatever social platform is updated with this lead, you could add an entirely new automation to it. So it's pretty crazy what you can do with these automations. You could maybe build an AI voice agent, and every time a lead comes in, you could capture the number on this Voiceflow workflow, and once the lead comes in with the number, the AI agent will be triggered to call that number and basically just follow up and see what they're interested in, record the entire call, and then forward that to a sales agent. Well, the reason why we would do that is the person just came in. they gave in all of your details. They gave in all of their details. That means they are interested. This is a hot lead, right? So you would want to connect with it ASAP within the first 5 to 10 minutes. As I've been talking about this thing quite a lot on my LinkedIn and on my YouTube as well. The research shows that if you're connecting with that person within the first 5 minutes of them showing interest, the possibility of them getting on a call with you increases up to 21 times, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. So you could create an AI agent, and you could follow up with the person on call and get them interested, get to know what they want to know, answer whatever queries they have, and then forward the lead over to an actual salesperson. So this will keep the lead warm and nurtured and interested. And once the salesperson receives this lead would actually be educated enough to know exactly what they want and when they want it, how they want to do this, and basically make the salesperson's life way easier. All right, so we talked about the AI voice agent. Next, we're gonna now once we I would add another thing over here. Once the AI agent thanks the person, I would want it to go back to the follow-up block that I created previously. But that will go to home and go to follow-up, and it's basically just going to ask if there's anything else they would need help with. And if it fails, the API call for whatever reason fails, which usually doesn't happen, but if it does, we will send the person over to chat with an actual human agent via email. So we already created that, contact via email. All right, so this is the final look of our lead qualification AI agent, a very basic one, but a very high ROI agent. You could integrate this into any channel and just start qualifying your leads and save your sales team a lot of time. So you could also send over these leads to your CRM. I just added those to Discord for just an example, but you could add this to ClickUpMonday.com, whatever your CRM is, and update your sales team through that channel as well. So let me know in the comments how you would probably customize this according to your use case. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share, bell icon, all of those things that you're supposed to do with a YouTube video. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.